Hey there, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to Anime After Show. We're talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Part 4, Episodes 1 through 4. We finally get to see what Envy really looks like. So many other reveals, and Hohenheim Part 1, Part 2? Let's talk about it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
So welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews, talking Fullmetal Alchemist Part 4. Again, if you watch on Netflix, I break down 1 through 4, so through 5, sorry. And we're talking about 1 through 4. Oh my goodness. My name is Kari Lane. I'm joined by my awesome co-host.
What's up? I'm Jaimi Gray.
Hey guys, I'm Oliver Drennan.
And Ollie, since you weren't here the last couple weeks, what did you think of these
Welcome
4?
back.
Oh
and welcome
my
back.
gosh, I feel like the show is like so different now. Or am I crazy? Like I feel like
It has a shift.
It's still amazing, but it's a lot less humorous. I think it's a lot more serious.
Yeah.
Like there's still some comic relief, you know, as all
Yeah.
anime has, but like it's dark.
Yeah, there's
I
some
feel
moments
like
where it's like
it's really getting down to the wire.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's some characters I'm loving. There's some reveals.
Yes.
Oh my god, Pride. Like
We'll get into
Did you see that coming?
no, not at all. When Alexa said we've met Pride before,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
it whenever my
what?
hands. Yeah, I had no clue.
And me too. I was like,
He's the pride of my life.
yeah. Hey, Jamie, what do you think of these first 4?
Okay, so I did kind of watch ahead.
Oh, yeah.
okay?
So that-
So I watched it like 3 times. So
Yeah.
that's how much I love it, especially this first episode. So
Yeah.
I loved it.
Let's dive into episode 1. We got the Dwarf in the Flask, Homunculus. So we get Armstrong is being at Central and runs
Yeah.
into Mustang, and they kind of have their little code talk. Yeah, the
Yes.
flowers and stuff, which is
Yeah.
kind of cute and funny. And then when she meets with the Fuhrer, I was like,
She's a
but she can hold her own.
She
but
can
still.
take him.
Yes.
She didn't break a sweat, so it's like I didn't feel any type of way. Like, okay, I'm nervous for her. Like I was like, she might actually hurt Fuhrer. Like, who
Yeah.
knows?
I want her to.
Yeah,
I'm sick of him.
Yeah. Well, he does the Raven questioning, but she spins it so good because
She's
she's
so
like,
clever.
yeah, Raven was talking too much. He said all these things, and I want to replace him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, what a
She's
great
a
way to
beast.
be like,
Yeah.
I didn't kill him, to be like, your dude sucked.
Because he
I'm
was
better.
really angry, Fuhrer. I was like, whoa, like, he could kill her right now.
Yeah.
Like, and she still doesn't really, I feel like she still doesn't really understand what a homunculus is and
Yeah.
what they could do, but she's a boss, so it's cool.
It was a very smart long game play.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yes.
Good play on words for her.
And she kind of comments about Briggs, I don't really worry about her men because they are loyal to her and each other. So,
Yeah.
not worried about that, but he says like, well, fine, you can be my second in command there, but you give me Briggs. And
Right.
she's like, okay, that's fine.
I had a question, though.
Yeah.
There was, so the scene where Fuhrer and Armstrong are together, so I'm thinking it was his ultimate eye, but did you guys get creeped
It
out
got
when
red,
it got
yeah.
red? So I was like, what's going on here? Can she see this?
I just think it's over dramatic.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, just like when anime does like
I'm-
stars for
But it was just for
eyes
so
and-
long. I'm like,
I'm wondering if he's just playing, if he like sees through her words. Like I don't know if he like completely believes her.
I think he's amused by it, so he will entertain.
I never
where it
know.
goes.
I feel
she
like
could be a good asset to him
in-
regardless.
Yeah, in the past, keep your enemies close.
Yes.
But like I feel like in the past, he's always kind of like he did similar things with Alan and
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, oh god, I never know what to think about him.
Yeah.
He's unpredictable, that's for sure. And then speaking of code talk, Mustang and Hawkeye get their cute little
Yeah.
click click.
So I would have had a slow moment because I'd been like, what are you banging on the table for? Like, what's going on? But I thought it was so clever how she was able to do that, you know?
And the first one of every sentence, it's the names, it's the Salim reveal. Ooh, I got goosebumps when the music came on. I'm like, oh, it's that
And his
melody we
eyes.
know. And he's like, ooh.
Even though he's in a bathroom.
Yes, he was so like,
Yeah. But it reminded me of myself, like, for all you people that have work and 9 to 5s and you take those 20-minute bathroom breaks, that's me. So I was like, he's just sitting in a bathroom, like, okay. Like, I'm like, how long did it take him to figure this out? But
Yeah.
that's me. I take, like, a 30-minute bathroom break, and I'm like, that's not my lunch break. I
Yeah.
still have an hour.
You have to take the bathroom break on the clock.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
and then we get the awesome flashback we all didn't know we wanted but needed.
Yeah.
Of Hohenheim is number 23. He was a slave. Because it's one of those, like, we were curious about him, but it's like, oh,
Yeah.
context.
Yes. Yes.
Looks just
It was a great backstory.
He looks
Looks
just
just
like
like
Ed.
Ed.
And the
Yeah.
name's just like him too.
Yes.
Don't call me stupid.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm really happy we got to see like this flashback because it makes me have so much more respect for Hohenheim. And
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like I could trust him
Ooh,
now.
yeah.
At the beginning, I was like, he's
It was
evil.
hard to like
know
know what to think because he's always like
Yeah.
calm and collective, but like too calm.
Yes.
So I'm like, what are you about, dude?
Yep. The weird blob thing in the flask.
Yes.
And he gives him the name Van Hohenheim because he's like, you can't have that
He's
name.
like, you slow.
And
We
you
don't call
can't,
you Van.
you can't even pronounce it all the way. Actually, you know what's funny is if you watch it in English, he does say Van Hohenheim. In subbed, he says Van Hohen. He doesn't even finish the whole
Really?
name. 'Cause- Yeah. If you just watch it with the subs
Yeah.
in Japanese, he just says like Van Hohen.
I wonder
Which
why
is kind of
funny.
why is that, you think?
Well, because he's not showing he's not as intelligent or, you know, just
Oh,
not as
yeah,
quick.
he's like, you're
But
not
it's
that
kind of
smart.
funny.
Yeah, I kind of just prefer to call him Van now because Hohenheim's just like
Van.
too many syllables,
Yes.
you know? Hohenheim.
Yes. So he kind of bonds with it. Like they're hanging out. He's
Mm-hmm.
learning, but it's kind of weird. They go before the king of Xerxes. How was that reveal? We're like, oh.
I felt
Oh.
I felt bad. Okay, so because like you already kind of know what's gonna happen, but when the citizens were like, "Oh, he's such a kind king. He cares about his citizens," I'm like, "You think?" Like it
Yes.
it kind of broke my heart, and the fact that they like literally wiped him out.
Oh, yeah. That's my next note. Oh, because he's trying to get immortality. So
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we're building these
Greedy.
canals because he looks out for us commoners. I was all, ha! He's
Psych.
like, I'm sorry, kids. You
Thought.
don't even know. And we learn that they're getting killed because it's the crest of blood.
Right.
How cool is that visual, though, that they have the map and each little blood
Yeah.
thing starts getting on fire?
Mm-hmm. That was
But then
dope.
you're like, that's a whole village wiped out.
Yeah.
I'm just used to lots of death in this anime now.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta have a strong. You gotta have a
Yes.
strong
You
heart.
know?
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart.
But it's not as quick as he wants because he's like deathbed dying, and Hohenheim's like a man now. He's not a teenager
Yeah, I noticed
anymore.
that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this took a
Got the
little longer
facial
than you
hair
planned.
going.
Yes. They do the transmutation, but psych, you're not at the center.
I was shocked
Not
because I was like,
surprised,
they're choking,
though.
spitting up.
Yeah.
So how exactly would you say that they died? Like, were they choked to death,
Suffocated?
like suffocated? I was like, what's going on? Like the spit, and then yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
we're at the center. You're not. Sorry.
Ha!
Poor Hohenheim though. Like,
But it's his brother by blood,
Yes.
essentially. So he's like, yeah,
That
I feel
sucks.
free. You gave me life.
Yeah.
Sort of. Ugh.
that sucks.
We do have a live chat going on, by the way. If you're watching this live, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Please comment down below your thoughts on the episode. If you're watching it later, no spoilers because we're only going down this break by break. Also, we do have an iTunes podcast of this. If you're not going to watch it on YouTube, or if you know people who like podcasts, go rate, leave a comment, let us know your thoughts on this awesome show because it's so good. Love film. It just keeps getting better. Like you're saying, Ollie, it's like it just keeps ramping up.
Yeah.
So, but they go outside and everyone is dead because they've had their souls taken from them. Whoops.
I wouldn't know what I would do like in that situation. Even when I'm in my room alone, like sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, who is here? Where is the world? But I would have felt so guilty because in a sense
Yeah.
he had something to do with it. Part of it was him.
Yep.
But my thing is like so yeah, is he Pride at this point or is he still Dwarf in the Flask or should we just call him Pride?
He's not Pride. 'Cause
Not yet.
Pride's a separate entity.
Separate. Okay, that was another question I had.
Who is a copy of him, and he's like
Right.
his Pride and his
Gotcha.
own image. I'm like, well, this explains why we have two Hohenheims.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
essentially a copy.
And then what about Father? Like
That's him.
That's him? Okay,
Yes.
okay, gotcha.
Which
Thank you.
kind of explains why he's so slow later. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's been around a long time.
That
and
makes
probably not
sense.
used to being in a body.
He's like the Elric brothers, like from part 3,
Yeah.
and I was like,
He's
like,
like, who are you kids?
Yeah, yeah.
So that one of those like, oh, aha.
Mm-hmm.
I know if Alexis was
Aha
here,
moment.
she'd be like, yeah,
She'd do her
waiting for
hair
it.
thing.
Yeah, because that was one that was like, oh, that totally makes sense why there's like two of them. Because there
Yeah.
is the original Hohenheim. This is why he's immortal, and this is why the other one looks just like him.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, he gets... So they kind of explain, too, at the very end of this episode, that he is a Philosopher's Stone.
Yes.
And essentially, which Ed is telling Miles, how big the stone is relative to how many people died.
That,
Which
ooh,
is like...
I would throw up just hearing that, because he could hear him. I'm like, that's like me hearing people
Mm-hmm.
inside my head.
Yeah. Also, he bumps into Azumi, which was so cool. And essentially helps her, doesn't cure her, but helps her.
Yeah.
Which was nice, because he's like, you can't really die yet.
Yeah.
So that's so she doesn't like throw up anymore?
Yeah, he's like, well, I can't replace your organs, but I helped the flow such that...
They showed that in part 3, though, right? Didn't they show that same? Because I remember he had done that before. I swear.
Unless that was kind of like another flashback,
like a foreshadowing type thing.
Maybe.
Tell us in the chat, because I'm pretty sure, like, didn't he already do that in part 3?
Well, because when they met up with each other, they were confused and surprised of their relationship in terms of, like, oh, you're Ed and Al's father. Oh, you're their teacher. So I don't feel they've interacted before. Okay. If they have, please leave comments down below. Join us in the live chat. Has Azumi and Hohenheim met in this more recent future? Not in the past.
I swear I saw that
feel in the past they've no...
Unless this scene explained past.
I feel like I saw that scene before.
He has that vision and sees her when he's at the fireside, that bonfire. If it happens,
I remember the bonfire.
But she wasn't really there. She was his conscience.
I don't know. Help me out, guys. I'm having a slow moment.
No,
Call me Hohenheim number 2.
There's so many things. All right, so that wraps up episode 1, and then we get into The Abyss, episode 2. Scar and the gang, they're going through the tunnel. Kind of a funny joke, but they're like, yeah, we found dynamite, but don't worry, it's all a dud. Which essentially, I think, kind of leads into the dynamite joke that comes later with Ed. Very funny. We'll get to that.
Little foreshadowing,
yes,
you know.
a little bit. The storm's over, Miles and the Elric brothers. Okay, so this is where it kind of gets a little intense and darker, because Miles is like, all right, there's a secret mission. We're going to kill Kimberly and his men. We're not really going to tell anybody else it breaks. And Ed's like, no, I'm not going to kill people.
Weakling.
Little bit. What do you think, guys? Is Ed being too soft? Because we do see this problem later.
Grow up, Ed.
If you don't kill the bad guy, they still come back. And Miles says the line, your sense of mercy could cost you or your friends their lives.
Right.
Which is very true. And essentially later, when he doesn't kill Kimberly, it
backfires. Yeah.
It's like, Batman, just kill the bad guys now.
Right.
So they don't come back later and kill
Yeah.
more people. But what do you guys think? Is Ed being too soft?
He's way too soft. Like, and I like how
He's too just.
Yeah, like, and yeah, he's gotta man up. You know, that's why they call him tiny. What do they call him? Puny?
Pipsqueak.
Pipsqueak. There we go. Some sort of P word. I know they said like the first law of Briggs was if you're careless, you're the first to die.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna die because he's the Full Metal Alchemist, but still, he's gotta.
Well, Miles and the other soldier, which I didn't quite catch his name because I don't think he really gets a name.
No.
They're walking down the hallway and they're like, well, that's how we used to be, and then we essentially grew up.
Yeah.
Real quick, in the chat, Flyflip87 said it was mentioned in episode 12 that Azumi met him, but this is the first time we see them together.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, I think it's really hard going back to Ed and him not killing anyone. It's commendable, but at the same, because it's like, teaching our kids not to kill.
Right.
But it's also like, I guess in war, dire situations, you kind of have to, you have to really, if you want to save people, you have to go that extra mile. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where they're treating like big bads. It's like, there should be no question that this person, if we know they're a multi-million murderer,
Right.
multi-million murderer. Kimberly especially. We know he kills like
for
all
fun.
the Ishvalans.
There's so many bad evil people. Kill one, maybe two, save 1,000. You know, it's like that the old saying.
Marco's going over the notebook, and May points out that the brother was influenced by alchemy, and they talk about gold, and that they say the person who brought alchemy to Zing was an immortal man with golden hair and golden eyes. Who does that sound like, and who does it immediately cut to? Hohenheim! Oh my goodness. But it's so funny. I love when Winry's like, that sounds a lot like Ed.
Right, like Winry, girl.
Yeah.
But she's thinking about he's on her mind.
Absolutely.
You know, that's her boo.
They make it through the mountain just fine, which is great. Kind of comedic and sweet. We're getting the Chimera. They're like, we'll lead so we can clear the path for you guys. I was like, all right, they're turning around. I like that the Chimera are a little more multi-dimensional, like quote-unquote villains. It's like once they get betrayed, they go, ooh, we went the wrong direction
Exactly,
in this
like,
life.
F it.
And then we see Al stuck in the snow. How funny was
that?
That
was cute. But I was like, wait, what? Like, what? I didn't, because first of all, I almost forgotten that he was, like, in the whole snow scene. And I was like, what is his foot doing here? So I'm glad he's all right. But yeah, it was funny.
And all of you like our strong ladies. How do you like May and Winry rushing to his rescue to dig him out?
Oh my gosh, well, I'm so excited to see Winry back. Like, I was like, I missed you so much. But yeah, and just seeing them kind of like, it's funny how like May is totally into Al, and then of course we have Winry totally into Ed. So it's just funny seeing them. Like I'm like, yeah, be like sisters-in-law. In the future.
Yeah, like a little sister sort of.
Yeah. The emergency message don't go to Briggs because Central Forces are there, and they're like, so what do we do now?
Yeah.
Well, Scar's like, well, I know a plan. Let's go to Azbek Village. And I was like, wait, are they going to go to Draconia, the other land, Drachma? And I'm like, no, they don't. But they come in. They do come back. That does happen. Miles and Kimberly is a fun little standoff bit. How much do we like them, like, butting heads and trying to outsmart each other?
I like it, but I don't even know if I'm like the biggest fan of Kimberly. What do you guys? I don't know.
Yeah, because didn't Alexis say that she loves him?
I
don't love him yet.
Yeah,
if he's
either.
gonna do something to redeem himself, I can't get
He's
behind
Is
it.
it the suit?
Sneaky
You don't
one.
like the suit? I don't know.
It's the suit.
The suit and the hair. I'm like, it's the get up,
He's a good sneaky bad guy. He's not an outright bad guy. He's more on the sneaky end of things. But he's interesting.
Because I love a good villain, If you, I guess you could say he's a villain.
Unless he becomes kind of like that more anti-hero.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
He could be. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I would like that to happen. Maybe then I would like him. But
we'll
now.
see, Kimberly. But for now,
now,
chop.
Ed interferes though, but that's when Kimberly does the snow escape and Ed fights the other chimeras. We get kind of more the ape and the lion, which was super cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
And this is where we get the dynamite. What is dynamite made of? That was a funny comedic moment. They're like,
it was so unexpected, as all the comic relief in this anime.
Yeah, that stink bomb was hilarious.
oh, and they're like, it's ammonia. And they point out, there's 2 stones. Kimberly's like, yeah, you got rid of one. Guess what? I got another one.
Of course, there's another one.
Yeah.
Which also, okay, so since he has like those philosopher's stones, how do we know that they work?
Right? When he does stuff, it's like super powered. But he hasn't in a while.
Right.
But he did do the Keven.
Okay.
But that didn't look as red. So I don't know if he has it in his body, the like mechanics of how to activate it.
Right.
Like, does he think? But I think so, because there's later the bit where Ed is healing himself and he thinks of certain things. So I wonder if Kimberly, if the stone's inside of him goes, all right, channel the stone energy to power stuff. Don't really
Maybe.
know.
Let us know.
Leave comments down below on the more physics mechanics of how this all works. Ed showed the mercy, but cut the hand, which I thought was cool and smart, and he moved so fast. I thought he was okay. How shocked were you when you're like, no, he's not okay?
Oh,
yeah. Impaled.
Mm-hmm.
I felt so bad for him.
Yeah. When he gets stabbed on like the left side.
Yeah.
Which I was reading on that, which I don't know like how it really coincides. Well, okay, they were saying like on Wikia, and I'm sure you guys can tell me like in the chat below, but they were saying like Mustang, when he was fighting Lust, he got hit in the same spot. I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Maybe like foreshadowing for something, I don't know. But it was like the same side, so I don't know. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Don't remember my bio lessons. I'm like, which organs where? That
I
like, can
sucked
we get
at biology,
it?
so I think I passed with like a C minus.
But the other part that was so sad and creepy is Al started being affected by Ed being hurt.
Yeah.
It's like, oh crap.
Al's making me sad.
Yeah.
He's depressing me. It's just so much stuff going on with him, and I'm like, I want you to be okay. Like, I feel bad for him.
He said his soul is being pulled over. It's like dun dun dun. But then we get Ed being all strong, like, I'm not going to make Winry cry. He helps a chimera, which is great, because then they're like, all right, we should help him too. At least they have a sense of loyalty.
I like that they're like switching things around a bit.
Yeah, because the chimeras were they were betrayed essentially by Grimly. Is it Grimly or Kimberly? Kimberly.
I called him Kimball one episode. I was like, sorry.
I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But yeah, so it was cool to see them kind of have a change of heart and help him out.
Yeah.
He does the human alchemy and uses like, I'm going to use my own life force. Maybe I'll shave off a couple years. But if you live now, it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live to 80 instead of 85, I don't know. We'll see what
do what you gotta do.
Is. I thought that scene was super intense, and I loved it. And they carry him out, which was cute.
I like how they ended that off too, like
yes.
that. That was cool.
Then we get, that's the end of episode 2. Episode 3, Signs of a Counter-Offensive. Mm-hmm. We get Winry with the broken down Al, and then they we had to break you down because you were too heavy to carry. Which was kind of comedic.
Sucks.
Yeah.
It's easier though. It helps.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just like, dang, like this is literally my life. Like I'm here, there, everywhere.
So how cool was that when they getting the notebook and May's like, oh, take it apart and put it back together.
She was smart.
How they
She
did
was so
that
smart.
with the transition between like
Yes.
Al representing that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or then he's like, wait, why don't you flip it upside down? Oh, I was like, great
Yeah.
idea. Because they're like, oh, well, it's just a countrywide transmutation, but it's Alchemy incorporated on the
Yes.
other side. So I wonder how that's going to help save it, counter it, affect it.
I have no
know
clue,
yet.
honestly.
Mm,
Even
no.
when May was talking, I was like, what is exactly she saying? I had to like rewind it. I was like, all right, yeah, I feel like I'm in a science lesson right now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm over it.
Well, later too, when they had the moment when she's talking with Marco of like the gold and the human.
Yeah,
And
they're
she's like, well, we call it this. And then Winry and the two chimeras are like,
I was
huh?
like, Winry is me, because I was like, girl, what? Okay.
Yeah. Kimberly is still in pursuit, and Kimberly meets Pride.
Yes.
Oh, that was fun.
I was surprised he wasn't scared. Like, just the way Pride looks, just with all the eyes, and you can like, I like how you can see when he's frowning, when he's smiling, when he looks like sinister, you know.
Oh,
But
Kimberly don't.
he doesn't
care.
play.
So is Pride? What's Pride's true form? Was it? Is it the just multiple like tentacles? It's not Salim. Like what's Pride's?
No, I want to say it's. From
Just-
what I've seen so far, I'd go with it's the shadow. And
The
it's
shadows?
similar
Yeah.
form to that first homunculi.
Okay.
So
Right.
technically, that other thing is the first.
Because he wanted to
homunculi.
always leave the flask, so maybe
Yes.
that's what it is. And he's like,
And
But I don't think that flask thing, the thing in the flask is the father.
father. Okay.
And
okay.
then Pride is made in his original image
Right.
because he's so prideful
yeah.
and does that.
Apple of my eye.
Yes.
Son.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. It's totally did not see that coming.
Oh,
glad I have you
that
guys.
was a fun switch.
Oh, Derek Hogan
Yeah.
in the chat says, you guys forgot to mention that one of the chimeras have Kimberly's other Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, and so is that why Ed was
Yes.
able to heal himself? Because he was like
no,
holding him,
they're
right?
just holding it. Good point. The other one picks it up.
Okay.
And then they're walking away with him.
Okay.
They
Thanks,
might
Derek.
give it to him.
Yeah.
Which I think if like when Ed wakes up, he'll be like, and they'll be like, we found this.
Right.
So
We
thank
can
you
use
for
this.
noticing. Yes.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Pride says, well, forget Scar for now, and I want you to carve a crest of blood at Briggs. Kimberly's like,
Crest of blood.
I guess so. He's like, I wanted to get rid of Scar, but sure. We get the sad but interesting like update on the west and the south of there's fighting going on, and our main crew of other soldiers are like
Yeah.
barely trying to survive with that phone call. But it was like, all right. And Sloth has finished his circle,
Yes.
but doesn't get an answer from Pride. He's like, so Pride, am I done?
I don't think I'll ever
Quiet.
know.
Yeah.
I got it something from the chat though.
Yes.
Hail Crimson King says the shadows themselves are the real body, and Salim
Mm-hmm.
is like the container. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah,
makes me
that
feel
makes
better.
sense.
Cause
I want to
like,
say it's just shadows
yeah.
with the eyeballs and
Yeah.
hands.
And I'm sure we'll find out like how Salim, incorporates into
Yeah.
how they found Salim's body. So
we'll
we shall
probably get
see.
that later.
Yeah.
How were you guys excited to see that Rose was back?
That I always liked
Yeah.
Rose.
It's
yeah.
been a while. She was in part
Yes.
1, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
haven't seen her for a long time. Now there's another episode in the regular Full Metal that is still in the back of my head that I'm like, are we gonna get this again? Do
Which
you know the
one?
one I'm talking about? It's a thing where it involves human transmutation. Don't spoil it if you know what I'm talking about, but I could have sworn there's an episode with Rose and weird transmutation with human beings.
Yeah.
It's weird and it's freaky.
Interesting.
But I'm like, are we getting that? Because that might just be in the other one and not in this. Because since she's come back, I'm like,
Well, considering how
Maybe.
darker the series is going,
It
maybe
might be.
so.
Maybe because it's
Could
also
be.
she's kind of random. I'm like Rose.
it was
okay.
weird
I
that
wasn't
she's
expecting
back.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. She's feeding the workers that are rebuilding. Hohenheim kind of shows up. He wants to go find the Laotoism church, which is like, okay.
I was confused just by like even when he was on the ground begging. Like we're so used to seeing him calm and collected. So I was like, is that? I was like, is that
tired
Hohenheim?
and like,
He was
I've
hungry,
walked
girl.
so
He was
far.
Yeah.
that like beef stew, whatever she was serving.
Right.
Yes.
It looked good.
Yeah.
I love it when
Anime food always
anime
looks so
food,
good.
man.
Always.
Especially, there's so many ones I could just eat, like Spirited Away, that
Yeah.
first scene. I could eat that every night. But yeah, I was so confused, like,
I think he was just weak.
Yeah, okay, because I was like,
Nothing-
who is this guy?
They find that they show him the underground passage.
Mm-hmm.
How convenient! There's toxic water, so don't go in there. There's like a dead rat when he
Yeah.
exits. Yeah, but he's like, no problem. It makes a bridge. and just like walks on it and doesn't need to do anything, which that kind of reinforces
so
in this
dope.
scene that he doesn't need to whatever. When
Right.
he runs into Pride and runs away, but oh my gosh, that hole that he falls into was so cool because he's like, oh, well, you are stuck at the heart of Central and you can't leave. And there's a line.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He can't leave Central.
Yeah,
It makes sense though now.
He's saying how Pride, oh, are you angry now? And Pride was like, I have no anger in me. I am Pride. Like,
It's
but
like,
you could just kind of see that Pride was just kind of like, didn't know what to do.
really?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's also when he breaks down the sins and totally disses Pride. And he's like, yeah, you're just
got
like the father. Oh, it was so good. I think Pride was angry, even though he doesn't know what that is exactly.
Seeing all the glimpses of all the sins, I was like, damn, I miss Lust.
Yeah.
Right?
I
You're
was
like,
like, oh, I miss Lust so
I guess
much.
I missed her a little bit.
I'm a
Yeah.
Lust stan. I can't
We
help
know,
it.
we know.
Sure. Briggs, we go back to Briggs, and Drachma has become involved now.
Yes.
I've been calling it for a while. I'm like, we're gonna see more with these people.
Yep.
Which if this is it, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have a war, and Kimberly's is
war.
with them. But then that kind of goes to shit. So
Go south.
what?
Real quick.
And that guy's like, Kimberly? Like, dude, you should have known. I'm sorry, but not really.
Yeah.
Who thought Zampano was actually betraying them when he revealed Marco's location and Envy picked up the phone, Wrath was listening? I was like, oh, come on. It was the Chimera who had the glasses.
Yeah.
And he calls. I thought he was giving away our man, but it turns out it was a trap.
Yeah.
But did you guys think he was like for reals or if he was
Actually
laying a trap?
didn't. I didn't think much of it, to be honest.
You're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you because I just feel like I don't trust a whole lot of characters in this,
trust
especially as it getting down to the wire. I'm just kind of like, I don't really
got
trust a whole
trust
lot of
issues.
these
Yeah.
characters. Like they're all like working together, but they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So I could totally see him, but luckily that wasn't the case.
Oh, that
It's
was
hard
so
to know what to
rewarding.
think sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, because it keeps me on my toes.
Yeah, which I
Yes.
like,
All right, episode 4, Bite of the Ant, which is so funny now that we know
Yeah.
Envy's size. But
Oh my god.
so Drachma, yeah, they do. Kimberly, they are the crest of blood, which is kind of good because then Briggs didn't necessarily have to be destroyed. They just killed this other group, but that still
Yeah, like,
sucks.
that's it. Yeah, just them.
Scar is with the village, and I was like, I actually wrote tisk tisk of like, Zampano, like you traitor, but then doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Fuhrer and Hawkeye scene when
Oh
he's
my
like,
gosh.
so you know Salim and I are homunculi. How do you feel about that? It's like, oh, but what is that all about when he's kind of essentially opening it up when he's like, but everything has been chosen for me except my wife. I actually got to choose
I thought that was
like,
cute. But so it's like you feel like he actually has emotions,
Yeah.
like
Well,
as
but-
well for his wife. Because remember she was like
Yeah.
fangirling over him, like, oh, look at me talking about him, like.
Yeah, there's like there's human in the homunculi.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
I
Or
wonder-
is there? Or is it all
Yeah.
a facade? I don't.
We don't know. That's why we have trust issues.
Well, because he seems to, it feels Wrath has issues with Pride, so I feel there could be a standoff with them, and Wrath could maybe side more with the humans, but not necessarily.
interesting.
Like, Envy is like, I despise humans. Wrath is a little bit
Yeah.
more in between because he is human, sort of.
Yeah,
He
that
was.
makes sense. He was.
And then we learn back to our group with Zampano. They were there to capture Envy. And then they're like, it's alchemy landmines. Did you guys see through that and be like, no, it's totally May on the side? Dude.
Yeah, that's my girl. I love May.
I didn't think about that at all, but I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, May is over there, and like, oh, they
Yeah.
don't even know.
I love all the little female characters from her to Armstrong.
Yes.
Yeah, strong characters.
But then the also epic moment, what about when Scar landed on Envy and was like, poof,
Yeah.
electrocute, destroy, and then the tongue grab after. Ollie's shaking his head if you're
I'm
listening.
just saying, because like it's so funny how like things worked out. Because like I
Yeah.
feel like we like I don't know. I always saw like Scar as like a really good character. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how he's like just been working with everyone, and he's just really
It's
shown to be
confusing.
like a hero. Like he's kind of like this villain turned hero. I don't know if you want to call him a villain, but like I don't know. I really like Scar. I've always really
He was
liked Scar.
misguided.
Yeah.
to start with.
By his own self, in a
self.
sense, though, I feel like. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, we're trying to tell you why we do what we do, and you're, like, in your own little world just killing everybody. We don't get it.
And I just really like the dynamic with him and May as well.
I
Yes.
like them. I think that's why he's growing on me, because without May, I'm like, I don't know, like, I feel like you're a lost soul right now.
I think May, in addition to him meeting Winry, has helped guide him onto a
Yeah.
good path.
Yeah, he's guilt trip. He got a little guilt trip. That's probably why.
Because he was blind revenge and had the like, wait, maybe this is not the best plan.
And so I just have really been enjoying like his kind of
Yeah.
redemption arc.
Yeah.
Throughout this.
It's an interesting character. It's not just one note,
Yeah.
boring. You're like, oh, you have levels. Scar.
Absolutely.
But speaking of Scar, you know how
Yeah.
like when he had ruined Marco's face?
Yes.
But they still know it's Marco. So I'm like, was all that
Well,
in vain?
not
I'm like, you just
everybody.
did this to my face,
Good
and people still
point.
know it's me.
It's
Like,
the Superman thing. Glasses, no glasses. It's enough of a difference that people don't right away.
right. Like, is that Marco?
But Marco was kind of okay with it because he's like, this is how I feel on the inside.
Oh my
Weakling.
gosh. How poetic.
So Dr. Marco is like, so the tongue thing. Also, there's a crazy, fun live action movie called The Chinese Ghost Story that has a monster thing that has a giant tongue that wraps around somebody. So I was like, hey, it's just like that
Ooh.
thing. It's from the 80s. It's really good.
Gotcha.
So I love that Dr. Marco's like, yeah, well, I know how to make them, and guess what? I know how to destroy it, too. I was like, oh, I
Right.
did not see that coming. And a
Yeah.
transmutation circle in his hand.
Yep.
That was super
That was dope.
rewarding. And then they're like, poor Envy is just falling apart. All the different faces, so disgusting.
I hate his form.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of ask him, well, why, Marco, did you do this? And he wanted to think and decide for himself, like Winry's parents. Because every
Yeah.
time people have made him do it. So I'm glad he did that.
It was kind
His
of
own
cool to
choice.
see him kind of grow balls in a sense. Because I
Yeah.
always considered him as a weak
Your balls are
character.
grown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he took down Envy. And then we
Yes.
saw Envy's true form.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cute.
Me too!
I like
I
how
felt-
he's calling other people a little worm, and it's like, but you're the worm.
Yes,
he's
it makes
envious.
so much more sense
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
He's been a parasite this
Mhm.
whole
Oh my god.
time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
When we saw the worm, my hands went up. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
To go from this to this
Yes,
to this to
all
this.
the different forms, and
Yeah.
that totally makes sense. It's this tiny little worm,
Mhm.
and it's like, don't look at me, and you guys, I don't want you humans looking down on me. And I'm like,
We don't want to look at you.
because you're a little worm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did feel bad for him when they were all like, when he's in the little jars, they're shaking the
I
jar,
love it so
poking
much.
him.
I like
That's
to
what he gets.
step away from the microphone. I'm gonna like squeeze so loud on it. I was loving that so
Yeah.
much. Yoki gets the parasite on his neck, and they're like, I don't care.
That cracked me. He's like, what's wrong? Like, nobody likes this guy. What's going on?
And he's like, okay, fine, I'll let go. Envy mentions that Ed has gone missing because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
still a little mofo of messing with people, even though he's
Oh,
little.
yeah. He still does too. I need, I'm gonna stop watching ahead because that's what did it.
Oh no.
Like, that's probably what confused me.
foreshadowing.
Scar says he needs Marco and he's going to go on his own path to help change the country and probably their views of Ishvalan, which is really good that he's going to go on that. So everybody's kind of accomplished their goal. They're all going on their own way. May gets Envy to take home because they're like,
Yes.
you take it because you need to... don't be involved essentially in another country's affairs and forget your own country's affairs, which is like,
But you guys think of that
Poetic.
though. I guess maybe it's like selfish, but I was like, Scar, why are you telling her to go home? Like, Al was so
she
close to
accomplished
trying
her
to.
job though.
But he was so close to being like, all right, so alchemy, like,
But
how
that's
do
not
we?
her job. That was her mission was to find out about immortality. She got it,
Yeah.
and
But we're gonna miss her.
Right.
yeah, I don't think she's gone for
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But when Scar hands her the jar and Envy like hits the side, Envy looks up at Scar and I'm like, it's so cute and so ugly.
Yeah, cute and ugly at the same time.
Leave a
Like
comment
pugs.
down below. Is
Ooh.
the true Envy form kind of cute? It kind of is.
Like 2%.
Real quick, Soon
Yes.
Jung Kim also says, keep in mind that envy is considered the embodiment of father's envy and jealousy. And Derek Hogan also says envy's true form in the jar is similar to the father's true form in the flask.
Is there a why for that though?
yes.
Why? Is it just because? You know?
Not yet.
Because even with the dwarf in the flask, how did he end up in the flask?
We didn't get the how exactly it was made.
Right.
It was just the master.
I just have
used
questions. I'm like,
blood.
how?
Well, we might get that later.
Yeah.
Al is like, well, I want to go to Lior, so he's going on his own mission, which we learn later he gets there. So the Fuhrer, Oh, the creepy moment. The Führer has his men looking in on Azumi.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, crap. Then we get the Chimera going after Greed, which I was like, oh, you're that guy.
Yeah, forgot all about him.
Forgot about him.
Yeah.
The two Armstrongs together.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to see them just like fight together, like just take on a whole bunch
They're
of
just like bickering, like.
Yeah.
They need to not fight each other.
Yeah.
Fight a bunch of people. Okay, just like I need that fight scene.
So we get two crazy reveals at the very end.
Yes.
One, they're like, okay, well, they take Armstrong downstairs, and which I didn't catch that gentleman's name. Is like, if you know his name, please comment. It was one of those like I didn't really
Was he
recognize
important?
him.
I don't. He might not.
Well,
have
he took her
been.
downstairs, but I didn't know. She didn't say his name, and I didn't feel he was introduced.
Yeah, I don't have it.
But anyway, he's like, do you know the 3 grand restrictions? And essentially, don't go against the military, don't make gold, and don't make people. All right, that's super simplifying it. But the idea is, well, one, don't go against the military because then you would have chaos. So
Right.
okay, fine. Don't make gold because financial chaos.
All right.
Okay, fine. Well, don't make people. And she's like, well, ethics? Well, isn't that a thing?
Right.
And then he says, well, ethics change over time and with people, which is kind of true.
That is
There are
true.
things we accept now, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, they don't. So,
True.
okay. No, we don't make people because you can make a military force.
Oh.
What? And all
Her
the
face.
hanging bodies?
Yeah.
That was like the first time you saw her face crack. She was
Yeah.
so
That's
shocked.
so true.
So
yeah.
I was like, I felt
Which
her
made
face.
me like crack, and I was like, "What's going on? Why are you freaking out?"
And then the other crazy one is Al is with Rose and Leor. And so Winry and Al spot Hohenheim, and they're like, what? What?
You.
And cuts.
Yeah.
They're like, no! Oh, so any other moments that stood out to you in these few episodes?
I thought it was a cute moment when it was like Rose and Winry.
Yes.
And Al.
I miss Ed.
Yeah, and even I was like, "What do you mean you miss him and Winry?" I mean, I didn't think she really made a face, but
No, she smiled.
she smiled,
gave
but
a
like
smile.
Al was like, I just thought that was cute.
Oh, that was super cute.
Yeah.
I was like, so?
Winry,
Hey, you got something to say? And she's like, no.
you mad?
She's just like Ed. She's like, no, I don't have
Yeah.
anything to say.
Yeah,
Any
and-
other thoughts?
Well, that was a post-credit scene, right? So
Yes.
now we have to make sure that we have to watch.
Yes.
Because there's
Journey
been
better.
a lot
There's
more.
been more.
Yeah.
So I don't know about your guys' Netflix. Leave comments down below. On mine, when I was watching, and I would assume they're the same. If you let it play, it will
Gotta let it
not
play.
cut to the next episode for you.
Yep.
If there is a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Right.
It
I
will
noticed
just
that.
play the whole credits, so you gotta just fast forward. But if there's nothing, it'll do the autoplay.
Yeah.
So watch
be
out for
patient.
that. Don't be like, oh, it's ready, go. You know, because there's been some good post-credit scenes. They're
Yeah.
short, but they're important.
Right.
All right, that wraps up our episode
It's a
covering
wrap.
part 4, 1 through 4 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yep.
Where can they find you all later? Keep talking about this awesome show.
Yes, guys, you can find me on all social media platforms. Talk with me at Ollie Jamer.
Hey guys, it's Jaimi Gray. You can find me on Instagram at it's Jaimi Gray or IG Jaimi Gray Jaimi.
And my name's Kari Lane. You guys can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us in the chat. And thank you ahead of time for leaving comments down below. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.